is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zoo in November. The Ham Radio Adventure Guy here. Happy Hump Day. I'm excited. It is Hump Day Happy Hour. We got a great show tonight. We're going to be talking Pota, and we're going to be talking lady style. So I got a couple of really great guests tonight. First, let's give a shout out to our newest Patreons. These guys rock, and you can thank them for the new early start time. We all got together at the monthly Patreon video call, and they voted that they didn't care whose slot this was, that they wanted to be earlier so we could rock the world. So thank you guys. If your decision flops, we'll blame you next week. But we're here at a new time. Also, it is the second quarter of the year. So we got second quarter start out for the Adventurer Club. It's all a big jumble of tie right now. But that's that. And that is for any donations, whether it's Patreon, whether it's Buy Me a Coffee or wherever. We did finish up the new quarter, and I do have the final results, but I'm not going to post those tonight. They're going to be next week because we got our giveaway for that. And so you're going to have to wait till next week. I know a couple of you probably wanting to see where you finished. And pretty much if you were in the top 10 last week, you finished in the top 10. But good stuff. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring out my guests really quick. Welcome, Carrie. Welcome, Toby. How y'all doing?
Good, good. How are you? Hi, Carrie. Nice to meet you virtually.
I am doing great. Yeah, Carrie probably knows Toby very well, or at least a call sign.
We talked today.
We did.
You probably talk every day because, you know, if there's somebody that is out there every day, other than myself, of course, this lady is always out there. She is by far the number one female hunter for 2022 and all time. As a matter of fact, she's the number one, activator. She is the number one activator of all time, period, women or men. So, real celebrity here. She's also the first ever member of the Knights of the Pota Roundtable, her and her husband, Ray. Now, Toby.
Thank you very much.
That
was fun.
Toby's on the other side of the books for 2022. She is the number one female hunter. So we got some Pota action in here tonight. So we're going to start with Toby because Carrie's been on the stream before. So Toby, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, my husband and I both got our licenses last year. So we got all three in 2 sittings. My husband has some technical background. I had to study a little harder than him, but it was worth it. It was worth the study. And then we put up a 26-foot vertical antenna. We have an antenna committee in our club. So they came out and assessed our property for us. And we had 32 ground radials, 53 feet foot long each. And my husband taught me how to solder the lugs onto the radials. And so I broke the ground with a manual grass lawn cutter, right? And then he came home and stapled them in the ground. So that took about a week. And then the club loaned us a antenna analyzer so we could get some of our bands ready to go. And we were on the air. I was on the air by October, and I made my first Pota contact October 26th.
Nice. So when you got your license, were you specifically getting your license for Pota? Because you got on the air in October, and then you're making Pota contacts in October. I mean, sounds like you immediately jumped right into it.
No, went to the club and listened to all the Elmers and what was out there, what was available. You know, they talked contesting. So I listened on the air and I said, that's really not for me. I started to hear the Pota thing going on. I said, that's for me. And I signed up immediately. I don't know this date I signed up, so I'm hoping my anniversary date's the date of my first Pota. So I said, yep, I like it. So every time I made a contact, I said, wow, that's great. What state? Oh, that's even nice. You know, every contact is exciting to me. I don't care when it is, where it is, when it just, I made another contact. Wow. And then I'm making contacts in another state. And I finally started making contacts in New Jersey, where I'm from. And I thought that was exciting because that's really hard to do in your own state. So I'm just enjoying each contact every time I make another one. And sometimes when you repeat with people like Carrie, I'm like, oh, that's exciting. Because then you hit her pile up, and when you hit James's pile up, you just have to sit back and just like smile and laugh, because it's like you just have to get in when you get in, and just have to have a lot of patience on those pile ups. But it's fun. I find it a lot of fun.
Now, I would think it wouldn't be really hard for you to get through to my pile up, because I recognize your voice pretty easy, and normally most people, once I get their voice down, it doesn't matter if I hear a letter, the number, or what. I can pretty much pull them out pretty quick. But so here's the question. I'll compete with Carrie here. Who do you hunt more, me or Carrie?
It depends on the band and the propagation. Today I saw Carrie on 3 times, but I could only get her once. So it just depends. I'm on the band. I'm playing with the frequency. I'm trying to see if I can open it up, and just not happening sometimes. So, I'll hunt them, but I may not get them. It's just the way that is. But I did hunt 2 minutes before I got on here.
Yeah, I'm probably keeping you from hunting right now. I know there's
no.
There's probably a lot of people right now like, why is James not doing a late shift tonight? Why is James not doing a late shift tonight? I get it all the time. Like, I had a guy, because I didn't get to do my late shift last night till about 10:30 because I worked a little bit late, and then it stormed all the way this way. I mean, it was just absolute. And I will go out if it's raining, but I mean, it was storming. So I went ahead and came home, and I watched Clubhouse, and then I went out about 10:30 and did an activation. So then today, I get off work and I go out and activate, and this guy's like, I haven't seen you in my spots in a while. I'm like, I was out this morning and last night. Come on, give me a break. All right, Carrie. My question to you, because you've been doing this for a while now, and you've been running away with it. How does it feel now? Because you've got Bill, and you've got Dale, and you've got all these people now that's really getting out there, activating, and giving you more of a run. How's that making you feel? I mean, putting the pressure on you.
Oh, well, yes. I mean, it's definitely as I told you before, I am probably a little bit competitive, maybe. You hear Ray in the background laughing, but I love it because it does make it more of a challenge to try to stay at the top of the leaderboard, or to stay close to the top. It's and it's fun to go out and meet everybody. I've seen different. I've met Dell. I've met Bill, and so it's kind of fun that you're competing with somebody that you met, even though it's not a competition. It is a competition with myself, in that I set goals at the beginning of the year. What do I want to do this year? And yes, I want to stay toward the top. I also know that I have grandkids I want to visit. I still have a full-time job, and sometimes it's more than full-time, and other things in life gets in the way. So I have to be realistic about where I am and what I want to continue to do. I mean, this year, one of the goals was to try to activate every day. That means it might only be one park. Fortunately, I do have a couple parks that are multiples, so I can go to one park and get 3 or 4 parks, like the one today. But that was one of the goals, and so far I've managed to do that. The other goal is just to try to get more unique states and more unique parks. So I just rolled over my 800 unique parks. So that award just came in this past week. So that was kind of fun. That was one of the first goals I was kind of looking at the beginning of the year. I said, well, that's in reach. And of course, it always helps when I go away from my area because I've activated them all around here. So I have to find some new ones. And so the run to Florida for Hamcation got me some new parks and it also got me new states because we came back a long route and added a couple more states in there.
Yes,
and
yes, you guys did.
I think I did get. I think you got me in most states there too, as we were doing that run back, and most of the parks.
I got half of Florida now.
Yeah,
due to everybody doing Hamcation there.
Yeah,
right.
You probably
that's
did.
A lot of fun that way. So now you get Ohio now when we go to Hamvention, right?
Oh, I hope so.
Well, see, I'll tell you, I stayed in Florida for a month for the event, and it was cracking me up because Carrie and Ray didn't stay there for no month, but man, it seemed like a month for them to get home. Every day I'm looking and I'm like, what are they doing? I'm like, she's just getting state. She's not even trying to go home.
Yeah, they were zigzagging around.
Right. I planned out a route for that.
And I'm gonna say this right. I'm gonna say this right now, and Carrie can be my witness. This is how dedicated I am to YouTube. Okay, I was obligated to be at Hamcation and meet people and do all this stuff for YouTube, and I had the opportunity to go on a road with Carrie, Bill, and several others, and it was like taking a knife and stabbing me in the heart not to go, but I did stay and fulfill my obligations, but it hurt.
Yeah, and we missed you going. We really did, because that would have added to the fun. But I understand that you can't do that.
I did get to sing Carrie happy birthday on her birthday, so it was all worth it.
You did.
So Toby, what's your specific goal? Do you have any specific Pota goals for this year?
1 contact a day.
1 contact a day.
Really, that's my main goal, because you don't know what the day brings, and you don't know what the weather brings. So, again, my example is today. I mean, I don't know how many times you were specifically on, but I saw you 3 times. But I could only get you once. And 20 meters sometimes with you, it's very difficult, but 40 seems to be a little better. And so, that, like I say, if I could get 10 in a day, I'm like, wow. But I mean, there was one Sunday a month or 2 ago, I think I got 50. And I was floored. I was like, I couldn't believe you could get 50 in a day. I was like, that was unbelievable to me. So it's just, each day is different. And that's why I say the goal is 1, because you just don't know. And the multiple parks is nice too.
And I agree. Each day is different, and I am doing exactly what Carrie's doing, and I commend her for so far activating every day, because I'm going to tell you, it is rough to activate every day. Even though we want to do it anyway, sometimes it's really hard to get that one. I mean, I've literally went out in ice storms now. I've activated at really crazy, insane hours. I mean, it's really, and my train trip, I had to specifically plan things out. Well, I'm going to have to activate the late shift this night for this day, and then the early shift the next morning for and it's a lot of planning and stuff that I cuss Vance for this. He came on the stream and he's like, before the stream, he told me, he's like, yeah, he said, I'm going to try to hunt. This is when he was first doing it. I'm going to try to hunt every day this year. And he said, I think you should try to activate. And I'm like, I don't know. That's a lot. And then I got suckered right into it.
Yeah. And it is a challenge. And I appreciate the hunters that, you hear every day, because some of the days, like I said, I will go out and it will be I think a couple days, maybe it was, I think this last Sunday, one of the days this past weekend, I think I got 1 park in, but it was between storms. I had thunderstorms all around me, and I went up and a high wind. So I it was a short activation, but I got the activation in kind of. It was raining, and I could hear the thunder rumbling, and before I called it quits. So like you said, it's not always easy to get that one activation in a day because the weather is usually the big challenge, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I have
You just never
literally
know what you get.
I have literally sat in my car for an hour and a half waiting on a storm to pass and sitting and watching the lightning app, just waiting, for it to get enough away from me, then throw up the antenna, go, and I'll post it. And this is where I come into hunters because they are the most loyal people ever. And
Mm-hmm.
I know Carrie's got her
Absolutely.
following just like I've got mine. If they know you need it quick, they'll come quick. I mean, that I'll post, watching the lightning app. This is going to be quick, and man, I've got
Right.
them there. I mean, they're just
Yep.
piled in there like crazy, and
Yeah, and
I
I think
love.
that's what I did this last one was, I said I'm going to be here. It's going to be really short because I got a storm rolling in, and I just had a storm roll out. So, and that I got to 10 fairly quickly, so I was able to get the activation in and then safely get the antenna down, and that was good.
As a
And we do
hunter, I ran
appreciate.
from the kitchen over to the computer and I turned on the radio. So that's how I hunt, from one room to the other.
So here's my question to you. We're different. We go out in the field and we just got to spot ourselves. When you're trying to hunt, are you carrying the app around with you, watching it during the day when you're home, or
This is what I'm carrying around. iPad.
and
Okay.
you're just watching 24/7?
Yeah.
I mean, because
Well, not quite 24/7, but during the waking hours. I said to my husband the other day, I said, I might have to get up early one day and see if I can get Japan or something, for DX. Because I do like the DX part of it too. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that, So that I haven't done I'm like 6 o'clock in the morning. I've got the Breakfast Club people down in Florida.
Right.
So you have to get up early for that. Well, I'm kind of up anyway, but and then by it's 8:30, 9 o'clock. Basically, that stuff is done. The main POTA stuff. So that's kind of my 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock ish. But I carry the iPad around. If I'm doing something, I said better check and see what's going on. Oh, Carrie's on. Gotta run. If the family's over, I got the iPad on a little stand. We're sitting there and have. Oh, be right back. Jump on the radio.
yeah, I know some people, puts people in ham alert and stuff like that, which POTUS spots don't show up on ham alert. Ribbon spots will, but somebody has to post you in the cluster. But even I don't know if I get spotted in the cluster a lot. People will say, "I had to take you out of ham alerts. You're blowing up my phone." So, but
So could I ask then, like, other than you coming on, do you, James or Carrie, do you post somewhere? I'm going to be at 3 parks today, or we wait for you to come on at the POTA spot?
I'll let you answer first, Carrie.
Okay. I think for especially when I'm not roving out and about, if it's just hitting parks on the way home from work, which is Monday through Friday most times, I don't usually post until I get to the park because I don't necessarily know if what I'm going to get to do, depending on whether I got to leave work on time or not, what traffic I hit, what the weather is. So I don't usually plan ahead for that. I think like the other day I was planning to do Fort McHenry because that's the forefer, but I ended up staying too late at work and the fort would be closed. So I had to change plans and find another park and just do a quick activation there. So that makes a difference. If I'm going out of state or on a planned rove like on a weekend, um, usually we'll kind of do a Facebook post and just say, hey, we're going to do a rove and try to hit a bunch of parks in this area. I don't normally post all the parks, but just kind of the estimated time of the first park, and then we'll try to update it as we go, if we have cell service. That's the other big thing. You don't always have cell service to update things.
And I'm kind of the same way when I'm on my way home from work. I don't normally have a specific planned park. It's just what do I feel like going to after work? Because sometimes I feel a little better after work, and I'll go the opposite way of the house and try to get something that I don't get as much. But sometimes I'm pretty tired, and I'm just going to catch one of the ones on the way home, whatever I feel like, and I'll do that. Now, with the rows and stuff like that, my Discord, I use my Discord a lot, and most of these people in the chat are in my Discord, and they'll sit and watch, and a lot of them will actually spot me in Discord. Joseph, November 3 X-Ray Lima Sierra, he always spots me in my Discord, and it seems to get me more people a little quicker sometimes. So I do spot there sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not a Facebook person, so it's a small disadvantage, I guess.
Well, no, this is Discord. This is a little different.
Oh, okay.
There's actually a link in my chat.
I'll look at that.
And you can join the Discord there. It's different than Facebook.
Okay.
Or one of my lovely moderators.
It's nice to have something other than Facebook.
Okay.
That's basically all I use it for right now, is for Pota stuff. So just because it does help.
Facebook, I'm basically used to keep up with my family. I don't really push a lot of my stuff on Facebook. A little bit of stuff, I've got like a West Virginia Pota group on there, and matter of fact, we're trying to get a West Virginia Pota meetup planned on there, but I use Discord and Twitter and stuff like that more for ham radio.
Okay.
So does your husband hunt as well, Toby?
Well, I've kind of taken the radio over, so he has not been on HF at all. He does have a license. He's Alpha Delta 2 Charlie Echo, but we're looking to hopefully get him his own radio by May is the plan. So then he could kind of get himself, because I hate to give up the radio. I've kind of made it my own. So he's still working. I'm not working. I'm retired. So he's got other higher priority outside activities that he likes to do. So this is not his number one.
You hear that, Ray? There's you a friend when Carrie leaves you alone.
Yeah. I was just thinking about when Carrie said that she's not taking any car that doesn't have a radio in it. So we had to make sure that most of the cars have radios in them.
Right. So we set up as we, especially as the gas prices have gone up, he relegated me. He said, no, you can't be driving the Sequoia all the time, because that's nice and comfortable and it's a little bit bigger, and it's nice because you go to some of these game lands or wildlife management areas, they're a little rough to get into sometimes. But the direction he's given me now is that if I'm just going to go to work and hit a couple parks on the way home, I take the Corolla, and we've got the radio in there. We actually put a hitch on it so I could do my Eagle One on that. Doesn't look great, but it works. So it's functional, and it makes it, then I'm not doing 10 miles to the gallon. I get 35 miles to the gallon. So that helps a little bit more.
I feel you there. I get about 12 miles to the gallon with my vehicle. And I'll tell you what, I've been trying my best to interest other people in ham radio so I can take them out and show them activations in their vehicles.
Right.
It gets rough, man, because I know Carrie's the same way. For us to get for a hunter to get a unique park, they sit here and they watch the spotting page for one to pop up. For us to get a unique park, we got to drive, and I mean we got to drive a
Right.
good way because we've done ate up everything around us.
Yep.
So, and funny story. So Pota did one on me in the last week sometime. They snuck in a park in West Virginia.
Really?
Yeah. Now, mind you, it is a trail that is in other states, so it's already been activated. It wasn't that no, but I come home the other night and I was doing my logs or something, and of course I go look at the top activator stats and all this that, and I was like, I'm gonna look. I started looking at my hunting stats, and I wanted to see how many parks I had hunted in West Virginia, and I noticed it said I forget how many out of 129. I was like, 129. There's 128. So I go to my activator page and I pull it up. Oh, there's 129. I got to find this. And the Lewis and Clark Trail, actually, I mean, I'm sure it's always went through here, but they've added the West Virginia Park to Pota. So I had to go out and do it the next morning, of course, because I'm not going to have a West Virginia park that I haven't done. That would be that would be uncivilized. But you know, I got lucky there. But it was funny when I was doing that park. You know, the first one, it says something like Iowa and 13 others. Somebody said, "Why are you in Iowa this morning?" I said, "I'm in West Virginia, y'all. Come on."
Yep. So I mean, I get the question all the time because I'm trying to get my 100 activations at Harper's Ferry. Well, Harper's Ferry is in 3 states. So I go and do, depends on, like today what I did, and I did mostly 20 meters today because it was really noisy on 40. So, and they were short activations on the way to visit the grandkids for a little bit. But I usually do the Virginia side, then the West Virginia side, because I'm going with traffic, and then I come back and do the Maryland side. So that's kind of a nice way to do it. But I do get the questions a lot there because it's, again, I think it comes up with Maryland first, but I'm rarely in Maryland. The Maryland spot isn't always easy to get to,
Right.
where I usually activate in West Virginia, but because it sets up with the Maryland, Virginia, and then West Virginia in their little
that's something we went over last week. We did a Pota mapping show, because if you don't really look into stuff, you can miss stuff really easy. For example, when I went up to do Harper's Ferry for Worked All West Virginia, you know, I had looked and I looked at all the dots up there, and I was like, okay, this is my pattern. This is what I'm going to do, and I do 9 parks that day, and I come back, you know, no big deal. But when later on, I'm looking to seeing what parks I've got left, and I'm like, well, where's this? I was like, son of a gun. The Appalachian Trail for West Virginia is right up there by Harper's Ferry.
Harper's Ferry, yep.
And here I have to drive 6 hours to go back because, you know, the dot is in some other state. So
right. Yep.
It really messed. Just like the Lewis and Clark Trail, the dot's probably in Iowa. There's no dot for it in West Virginia now, but I looked up the official Lewis and Clark map, and this is what is interesting, and I want to ask somebody from Pota on this, and maybe you might know, Carrie. Okay, I can activate the park there in Point Pleasant. It's a weird name, TUND or something like that, state park, and I can activate that 100 foot from that trail. I mean, if that within 1,000 foot of that trail. But here's the thing: that park is in West Virginia, and it just happens that the trail runs into Ohio.
Huh?
Can you do a 2-state twofer?
I don't know. I mean, because technically you're not in Ohio if you're
Right,
in West Virginia.
Right.
So,
but the trails are supposed to be 1,000 feet.
So where's the dividing line where you can step
But the
1 foot
trails
in
are-
one state, 1 foot in the other state?
The middle of the river is where the
Oh,
trail runs
okay.
down. But
that makes it hard.
But the trail map runs along a lot of places. It's right there, pretty close to the line. But at that particular part, it curves over into Ohio, and then you got the dotted line for West Virginia. And I'm like, because that's where I originally was going to go activate it. So yeah.
So and I think it's not 1,000 feet; it's 100 feet from the trail.
Oh, that's
So
100 feet. That's what
yeah.
That's what I meant. But
I think that would be kind of because if you're in Ohio, don't they have it for the Ohio side too?
they do have it for the Ohio side.
Okay.
And I could go activate it for Ohio easy, but
right.
I was just curious if I could do that as a twofer, and that's a question I want to ask because I think that'd be cool to be. I'm running a twofer, a West Virginia and Ohio park in the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
Just think about that pile up.
I know. To get a twofer for and you get the state park, right? Or is the okay? Does the state park cross the line too?
No, the state park's all West Virginia. The trail runs in the river. That trail is basically, it's a river basically, but they showed a trail. You'd have to go look at the Lewis Clark map.
Yeah, I'll go look at it. Look at see when I get down that area.
Oh, she's like, I'll let you know, James, just as soon as I activate this twofer. Now, hey, listen, Carrie says she's a little competitive, and I'm gonna, and I'm a little competitive too. So, and I'm gonna tell on somebody here, and I hope they're not in the chat right now because they're gonna kill me. So Carrie put a hit out on me. I was going to go activate. I did. See, you mixed to it. I was going to go activate with Bill and do a rove, and now when Carrie and Bill rove, they rove. I'm gonna tell you that, when I rove, yes, I'm out as many hours as they are, but I don't do the number of parks that they do. Okay, so the hours wasn't gonna. So she told Bill, she said, put it to him, see what he's got. And Bill said, I'm willing to let you out after 12. I said, buddy, I'll take anything you can push out. So we went and we did 18 in a day.
Yeah, you had a long day.
We definitely had a long day. But he said, now don't you tell on me. It's on YouTube, Bill. I'm sorry, Bill, but I told about the hit. I told Bill that I really wanted him to lay on the ground somewhere and let me take a picture, and I was going to send it to you, and like, your hit didn't work. We also, and I've got the video somewhere. I don't know if Bill ever sent it to you. I know he posted it on something. He wanted to see where you guys were spotted at that day, and he typed in your call sign on Slack, and the screen just started going crazy. And he did a video. He's like, "This is what happens when you type in KB3 WAV to see where she's at. She's everywhere."
That's funny. It must have been a glitch.
That's what I do to see where she's at.
Yes, Ray says that when he gets home from work and I'm not home, he goes and looks at the spotting page to see where I'm at.
He don't need any kind of tracker whatsoever. He just goes to the Pota spot and says, "Oh, okay, this is where she's at."
And if the spot's old, he might, chat somebody, couple of the hunters that, follow us around to see when they last saw me.
All right, so you're retired, Toby. So I'm assuming you got your housework and your dinner to make and all that stuff like that. You're in the middle of dinner, and you got to watch this really close. and a unique park pops up on the thing, what do you do?
Well, somebody else has to watch dinner. I mean, I'm to the radio. Priorities here. My husband's a good cook, so if he's here, he's cooking. So we split that 50-50, but it's radio. Oh, excuse me, gotta run. Watch the oven. So something doesn't burn. Yeah, I'm running to the radio. Like we had Mother's Day here. I had sitting around. Oh, excuse me, I'll be right back. I think I got Carrie a couple times on there because you were floating around to go to, I think, one of your daughters. Yep. I pick up the iPad, move it along. Yeah, I've got to clean up. You don't want to see what's on the other side of this room. I've got to start cleaning up. My kids go, it's a mess.
Same situation for you, Carrie. Ray has got reservations at his favorite restaurant. You guys are on the way. It took 2 weeks to get these reservations. You're on the way, and they pop a new park up in Maryland that has not been activated. What do you do?
He's sitting right here, and you expect me to answer that?
Yes, I know. That's what makes it fun.
Food is not that important to me. I will go find the park.
Do you at least drop him off at the door and tell him you'll be back?
Yeah, I would probably do that.
No, what she would do is take me with her and give me cheese and crackers.
That's true. We would just. I always have snacks. If we're in my car, I always carry, cheese and cracker. I mean, like the cheese crackers or peanut butter crackers, stuff like that. So I have snacks or granola bars.
We got Pota portable food.
Pota portable food that I can stay in my car, so that I don't have. It's one of those unusual times. If I plan a rove, I usually, I'll throw a lunch bag in there with snackage of something, but other than that, the car always has just regular snackage because I might just randomly go and end up being gone for a few hours over dinner. So,
all right. Shout out to Kilo Yankee 4 Golf Mike for the 2 slices of pizza. I appreciate it. That will help me with gas to somewhere this weekend. I don't even know where yet. I know we're Sunday. Sunday, I can tell you that we're going to activate in Chief Logan, and it's going to be a club activation. I've actually got the guys from my club's going to come out, and we're going to all do an activation there. I'm trying to get some more of them activating. So I know where Sunday will be. I don't know about Saturday yet.
I do need one more for Chief Logan.
Well, you're in luck because I need 9 more for my 100.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was one of my goals for this year too, was to get my eagle at Chief Logan. And now since Mr. Johnson goes and posts that thing the other day about something, all these people having 10 eagles and stuff, now I'm like obsessed. So I'm like, all right, I gotta get on this. And I don't have nothing. I'm nowhere near 10 eagles, but
I don't think there's anybody with 10 right now. There's no one with 10 eagles. There's several of us with 5.
I was at 5.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I got this. I got that.
So
I'll get that this year. 10 was pushing it.
So I'm that's what I'm shooting. That was the other goal that came up this year as we were looking at it. I got the 5 first, but basically within days of is it Kilo Delta 8 Zulu in India Echo out in Wisconsin. 9 call. So we got it close to the same time, and I was already shooting for the next one as well. So I think I've got like I need to get 8 more activations at Fort McHenry and 8 more activations at Harper's Ferry, and then I'll have my 10.
Well, I'm working on on one that's going to be really, really special because I'm nowhere near it right now, but I've been doing it quite a bit lately. Because how many people you know will have an eagle's nest at Big Ugly State Park or Big Ugly
Yeah.
Wildlife Management Area?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I saw you there today.
Yeah, I've been
You
doing
were
it
there
quite a
today,
bit.
right?
Yep.
I hunted you today.
Yeah, it's fun. That the hunters really enjoy when I do that one. Matter of fact, Kilo 8 Golf Quebec. He's like, I had to call just to give a 5.9 to the Big Ugly activator. And I'm like, you guys kill me. But yeah, that's like a West Virginia famous thing because you live in other states and people will be like, there's a place in West Virginia called Big Ugly. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
Been there a few times, huh?
Well, hey, listen, I will be the first to admit this on YouTube. I have dated a big ugly girl.
Uh,
Oh. All right. So what about you, Toby? Me and Carrie, we're always chasing awards. Is there any specific hunter awards you're after?
Well, I didn't even think I'd get to 100. So when I got to my 1,000, I was like, wow, that's great. So now I just hit, I think it was yesterday, 1,500. So I guess 2,000 is in a possibility. So that's why I say one, because every time you get another 100, you go, wow, I just hit another 100. Because you don't know when you're going to get those unique parks. Because you have to hope that everybody's going out to get a couple new unique parks. So I every day I hope. And so, yeah, and then I've gotten a couple repeat offenders now. And I've got a couple, I'm waiting for people to post. It's like, there's people that are really good, like you, James and Carrie, that you guys post pretty quickly. But there's people that are post 2 weeks out or a month out. I'm like, when you post it? So I've got a couple repeat offenders just dangling there, waiting for the posts. So that's fun. And then if you're going to keep going to Chief Logan, maybe I'll get a double repeat offender. I hope Fort McHenry would be nice, but if I can't get you all the time on the bands, it's just not. It's very noisy. I mean, I just sit there and I try, but it's just not happening. But that would be good.
Terry's actually in the chat calling me the Big Ugly Activator again. Oh, so what about the unique awards and stuff like that? Do you go after any of them, like the N1CC hunter or anything like that, or they don't really matter to you?
I don't know enough about them to say I'll go after them. So I just haven't really looked into those to say I'll challenge them myself. Sorry?
I said the N1CC is the one that's working parks on different bands. So was it 14 bands? You have to.
Well, for an activator, it's 10 bands in 10 parks. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it is for a hunter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I've hit 7 bands already, but I think I need to do some more tuning on my vertical to get a couple more bands going. So it got a little cold when we got it up, and we couldn't really finish the rest of the bands because October was getting cold here. So we'll have to finish. We'll have to borrow that antenna tuner again and from the club, and see if we can finish tuning the rest of them and see if I'm successful. I mean, I know I've got James on 80 meters, but I seem to be in the weeds all the time, right, James?
You're not real bad on 80. I get you pretty loud and clear.
Oh, okay. So I feel like sometimes I'm yelling through the weeds to try to get to some people on 80. So I'm like, all right, well, that's probably not working too well. But 17 meters has been coming up nicely.
I think everybody in my pile-up yells. I'll be on. Listen, when my grandson, when I'm camping with them and I'm doing an activation, and he's 5 and he really likes ham radio, and anytime I'm doing it, he wants to come out and sit on my lap and he wants to do something. So I'll let him give signal reports, and I'll get these pileups, and they'll start yelling, or what he think is yelling. So when I say tell him 5-9, and he'll scream, he'll be like 5-9 West Virginia. And it's the funniest thing to me when he does that, because I mean to him it's they're all just yelling, and so
It is funny from the hunter side to listen to that pileup. Sometimes I just sit there and just listen to it, and then I have to figure out when to decide to call in. Sometimes I'll call at the beginning because I don't know if I'm one of the louder ones coming in with the clearer signal, or if I have to wait towards the middle or the end of that pileup to try to talk. It just depends.
See there, and there you go. That is an experienced hunter right there. You got to sit back and wait and see what the activator is doing, where they're calling from, what they're doing, and that is how you break a pileup. Not trying to talk over the top of the call that the activator's calling. Not all this, scream your last letter 4 times in a row. not say your call sign, your signal report, and what state you're in. Figure out the activator, and I promise you, we want to get every one of you, at least, maybe not Bill. Bill would not let me when we was on the road. Bill would not let me near the radio for when he thought it was last call. because Bill, when Bill says it's last call, when you get that last call, I would give them their signal report and say 73, and he'd hit the power button. He wouldn't. He gives you no chance. And
that's what, when you do a rove like that, there's no way that you're gonna get everybody and still get the parks in.
Right, and it was good for me because not this year on Parks Support Your Parks Plaque Weekend, but next year I want to make a run for the plaque. I have other plans for this year, but and that pretty much you're looking at around 60 parks in a 48-hour period if you want that plaque.
Yeah, I mean, Justin has set the bar really high.
Yes, he has, and it's funny because I told Bill, I was like, not this year, but the year after, I want to go for Justin. He said, "You're not just going for Justin, you're going for me."
Yeah.
I said, nope. I said, fair enough, because Bill did give him a good run last year. Matter of fact, by watching the spots when they were announcing the award, I was like, it's going to be Bill. It's going to be Bill, and I was shocked that it was Justin. And funny story that not a lot of people knows. He got 50. Was it 56, Barry?
I think that's right.
He got
I'm not
56.
sure, but
he got 56 parks, and they got pulled over at one point. So that took time away.
Yeah. He didn't get to all the parks he had on his planned route because of I think.
He says he's going for 60 this year.
So is that what is he in Chad?
What is it?
Or
no. He's done let that be known. He's done told several of us he's going for 60.
Okay. Well, that's a good mark. I've been eyeing up different routes to try to make a run for it, provided nothing gets in the way. Yeah, that's usually it falls on a granddaughter's birthday weekend now, so that makes it kind of hard.
Yeah.
Well, you have to have the party the weekend before.
Well, and that's because they're in Illinois, so that's a possibility if we can, go a little bit, either go before or after, depending on how the birthday falls. So, yeah, because I wasn't able to do the full weekend this past year, and then the year before that was with COVID. That wasn't happening because there was actually so many parks around here that were kind of locked down. So, and you didn't go into states, we couldn't go into New Jersey because you guys were locked down. So,
yeah, we were locked down. That's how hunters would,
yeah.
That's where hunting is good. during COVID.
I wish I would have been doing parks on the air, when COVID first hit and stuff like that. I really do. I wish I would have. Would have gave me something to do for sure. All right, guys, I'm going to give you guys some time now to start throwing in some questions for these ladies. I'm not going to keep them all night. And plus, we'll do the Patreon after hour chat. The Patreons, the link for that is in the Patreon chat and the Patreon Discord. But if you got any questions for these lovely ladies, or if you know how to slow Carrie down a little bit to let me pass her up, I'm gonna tell you, again, she told you she has a full-time job. Now I have a full-time job too, but man, she's activated almost 100 times more than me this year. And people ask me, "Do you sleep in the park?" So I mean, I'd love to know what they asked. Some of the questions they asked her. I get good luck. Yeah, thank you. I mean, I've asked Ray to help me keep her home and stuff, and he's like, "Are you crazy?"
I can't get up early enough to keep her home.
Yeah, that's what he said. I'm up and gone for work before he's
Sometimes
conscious.
when I'm coming to bed.
So now do you do a park on the way to work too, Carrie, or just the way back?
No, I leave the house at I leave the house by 4 a.m. So
Okay.
there's technically no parks are open at that point. And sometimes I've gone in late and I've done a park like during the winter when we have a delayed opening or something like that because of snow. I might go do a park first and then go to work.
Well, I mean,
But
I could go to a park at that time in the morning. It's just how active is it going to be? Because I mean, I know sometimes I'll do really late shifts, 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I'll get 30 or 40 contacts, but it's not nowhere near what I'm used to getting, right at the beginning of late shift or something.
right. Yeah, I can't imagine I would have a lot of contacts at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I mean, that.
So
Well, if I knew you were
how many hunters
going,
out there are gonna-
if
at
I
4
knew
o'clock
you
in the
were
morning?
going, I would be up.
Yep.
I would
Okay.
be up if I knew. Just roll out to the radio.
All right,
Yep.
so everybody who wants in Carrie's 4 a.m. wake up call message, shoot her a message. Now
Yep.
I'll have support your parks weekend. I have left the house at 1 o'clock in the morning, but I was driving 6 hours away.
Right.
So it was 7 something the next morning before I actually got at it.
So I'll ask a question since people aren't. Where are you going for support your parks weekend? Both of you. Who wants to carry? Where are you activating it?
So
Maryland.
probably Maryland, Delaware, DC.
Okay.
That is provided, I'm not in that I'm here. That would be because there's a pretty good amount of parks in a fairly close area. And PA would probably be in there too. Especially some of the
Now,
game lands are pretty close together.
you're talking about this support your parks or the plaque weekend?
Oh, well, when's the plaque? Is support the parks weekend is 2 weekends from now? Is that correct?
Right, the regular support your parks.
Yeah. And then when's the plaque weekend?
That would be in July.
July. Okay.
July, yeah. That's what
That's
I
a
was
lifetime
thinking of.
away.
That's true. That's true.
So support your parks weekend in 2 weeks. If he gets his camper, November 6th, November Radio Delta is coming down from Canada to Ohio and wants me to activate with him for the weekend in Ohio. So that will be the plan until he tells me different.
I need some Ohio.
Well, evidently, I'm the person to tell because I've been getting emails of people telling me the Ohio parks that they need, and I'm like, I don't live in Ohio, y'all. Yes, I've got the south eastern side of it done, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go plumb out to the west side anytime. So, well, yeah, I guess I am because I'm going to the Hamfest, and
Right.
and
There'll probably be a lot of parks.
and I'm probably going to like just hook a hitch rack on the back of Carrie. That way, on the way home, I can go out through California and Oregon and all that. You know, the normal route home.
Yep, that would be a good route.
Just the normal route is not a straight line.
No,
Terry,
it's a line via parks. They're a little crooked.
Everything we want to do.
Carrie, have you ever
I
done
will
Lost
be.
River?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Have you ever done Lost River State Park in West Virginia?
I don't think so.
I didn't know if that was anywhere near the grandkids or not. Terry was telling me he missed me when I was there. He needs it. I want to go back, Terry, but gas is going to have to go down. That's like when gas
So where
was
is that one?
It is. Trying to think of the area. Hey, Hayden, in the chat, please tell us exactly where Lost River is. He has family there.
So Hayden could pick you up on the way.
And no, Hayden lives in Maryland. Well,
okay.
Actually, he could pick Carrie up maybe, but not me. But it took me, when I went and gas was a lot cheaper, it took me $120 to get there.
Wow.
It's in Hardy County.
Really?
I'm trying to think of where that is.
I
What-
think
what-
it's up in the Panhandle, but I could be wrong.
Okay. I'll have to look it up. I don't know where Hardy County is.
I do want to go back there because when I went last time, I wanted to do my activation from the Overlook because the Overlook, you can see 5 counties in 2 different states. But there was a wreck on the road on the way up there, which caused like a 2-hour delay. So by the time I got there, I was going to be pushing it, hiking up to the Overlook and getting back because it was winter before dark. And if I'd have took all that equipment, it was going to really push it. So I just hiked up,
Right.
got my footage, come back to the car, and did my activation from the car. And it was also, I got lucky because that was a contest weekend, and the bands was.
Oh, we did do that one.
Okay, you did do it. Okay,
Yeah,
but
we
the
did
bands
it when
were.
we.
I kind of felt like you had.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Grant
It's,
had.
Carrie randomly does some roves in West Virginia every now and then, and I'm like, hey, I didn't know she was going to be there.
Yes, it depends, and there's some nice areas where you can get a bunch of parks all in a fairly short.
No, they're absolutely, and that's when I plan my roves. Like, I did look at one for Saturday, and it looked like 5 parks down in Virginia. That's possible, and maybe one in Tennessee too. So that's where I might be on Saturday, but no guarantee. All righty. Well, if nobody else has any questions in the chat, we're going to start wrapping it up. Toby, do you have anything exciting coming up?
I'm hunting. As far as I'll be on the radio. I'll be checking my spots, and I may have to I really don't want to join Facebook. That's why I was looking for other options to find people where they're going to be. But that's the only thing is just not a Facebook person. But maybe.
I mean the spotting page. It's going to show you when they're out there, but sometimes on the Facebook page people will put that they're planning this or they're planning that. So it is
Right. So I can plan ahead when the dog needs a walk. Like
Right.
well, you can never, even when I spot that I'm going to do this, you can't plan with me on a weekend. You just have to set up the radio and be ready.
No. As soon as I'm done with the contact, then the dog gets a walk in the back.
Because I don't typically do Carrie and Bill running guns, and I'm going to tell you it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun, but I have a guilty conscience, and if there's people calling me, I feel so bad when I can't get them. But I won't do that on Support Your Parks Black Weekend. I promise you that. But the second there is a break, I will go QRT on you in a heartbeat and move to another park.
Right.
Or if it's now my early morning activations, I did start when I came back from Florida. I started doing an early morning activation because I got used to activating in the morning down there, and it is limited to 50 contacts. I am 50 contacts or the first break, and I'm out because I got to go to work, and I have had to shut people off on that before. So, and Hayden said Discord is awesome, Toby. You should check it out.
Okay, thank you. I will.
Alrighty, we're gonna wrap it up. Discord members, you're welcome to come over for the after chat. The links are on in the Discord Patreon chat, and it's on Patreon. You're welcome. You ladies are also welcome to stay over for the chat if you want to. You're not obligated to. We appreciate you guys coming on. It's been very much fun. I asked several ladies to come, and a lot of them, I don't know if they didn't get my emails. Bean did tell me she would love to, but she had to pick up somebody from the airport. I can't remember who it was. But all right, guys, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And if I missed anybody on Buy a Slice of Pizza, I will tell you thank you next week. And next week is the giveaway show for last quarter. So see you then. 73.
73.